Hey guys, Cam here from today's iPhone.com, and I wanted to give you a quick rundown of exactly what we're expecting from tomorrow's big events. Now, as I'm sure you should know by now, the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C are allegedly going to be announced at an event in Cupertino. I think it's going to be actually in Apple's home base or headquarters. It will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you're in Eastern time on the eastern side of the States, that's going to be at 1 p.m. In the UK, you're looking at 6 p.m. Central Europe is obviously an hour ahead of the UK, so you're looking at 7 p.m. And if you're on the other side of the world, if you're in the likes of India or Australia, then it's going to be getting pretty late for you in Bombay or Mumbai. It's 10:30 at night, and in Sydney, Australia, you're looking at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And that'll be on September the 11th. Now, in terms of new hardware, like I've said already, we're expecting 2 new iPhones. Now, the main device will be the iPhone 5S. It's going to look and feel almost exactly the same as the iPhone 5. So any changes on the design front, they're very minimal. You've got like the dual LED flash on the back instead of a single LED for the camera. And also there have been rumors about there being a silver ring around the home button, but I'm not entirely convinced by those, so that's one of those wait and see things. There is going to be more than 2 colors as far as we know. Like the iPhone 5, there was black and slate, and then there was silver and white. We're expecting that those are still going to be there, but they're also going to add a gold or champagne and white version as well. And there have been rumors, again, I'm skeptical about this one, there have been rumors about a grey or / graphite and black version. Now, the reason I'm skeptical about this is because it's the same color as the body that showed up before the iPhone 5 was released, and we know that black and grey didn't get released last year. So it could just be that it's the color that the metal is before they anodize it and color it with that kind of slate finish. In terms of features on the iPhone 5S, again, there should be slightly improved camera. There have been very recent rumors about there being 120 frames per second video recording to enable you to do really cool things like slow motion video playback. We're expecting that it's going to probably be the same number of megapixels, so I wouldn't suggest that there's going to be any more than 8 megapixels. If there are, then it might be maybe 10 or 12, but it's not going to be crazy like the Nokia PureView phone. Now, what's more important about the camera is that they're allegedly going to be increasing the aperture, which will help things like depth of field, but more importantly, low light performance should be much improved over the iPhone 5. Battery's going to be slightly improved, but then that's mostly helped by the processor that's inside it. The A7 is rumored to be 30% faster, but also 20% more efficient. So even if they keep the same battery, you should find that the iPhone's battery life is much better than the iPhone 5's. Connectivity wise, we're also expecting that the LTE bandwidth supported on the device are going to be extended to include other networks across the world. The likes of O2 and Vodafone in the UK use slightly different bandwidths to EE, so I'd be very surprised if they weren't supported at launch, considering they have just announced their 4G networks recently and should have a lot of the UK covered by this time next year. The biggest deal, at least the most hype that's going around about the iPhone 5S, is whether or not Apple will introduce a new fingerprint scanner. Now, there could be many reasons for implementing one of these. It could be used for unlocking your device. Supposedly you could use your thumb as well as a PIN code to make it extra secure. But then if they try and introduce things like mobile payments through Passbook and perhaps an NFC chip, it will use your thumbprint or fingerprint to authorize certain transactions. But then this is just rumors, but it is based on a lot of leaks that we've seen. The home button components that have come out over the last few weeks have shown that they're quite a lot different in terms of circuitry and chips. They're a lot different to the iPhone 5, so everyone's wondering what this extra chip is for. And also, if this silver ring is more than just a silver ring, if it's actually a light that kind of animates when you scan your finger, I don't know. I mean, this is one of those up in the air things, and personally, although it's going to be quite a gimmick, I would love to see one on the iPhone. Even if it's just so that they can have another one of those one more thing moments at the end of the keynote, which we don't get anymore. It would be great to see one of those, and it'll be interesting to see how far they can push this fingerprint technology, because if anyone can do it, obviously it's going to be Apple. The second device that we're expecting to see tomorrow is the iPhone 5C. Now, this From what we've heard recently, it's not just a budget iPhone that kind of is the same size as the iPhone 5. Internally and in terms of specifications, it basically is the iPhone 5, but it's got a plastic back on it. So what that means is they don't have to spend as much money perfectly matching the aluminium coloring and the black panels and the white panels and stuff to make it an expensive phone. So what they do is they use this this plastic shell on the outside, which is a lot easier to manufacture. It's a lot cheaper to manufacture. So it means they can offer the device a lot cheaper. So I'm not expecting that they're making a new display. I expect that it's going to be a Retina display. The camera is probably going to be similar to what's on the iPhone 5. And it's just going to be cheaper. So for me personally, I don't actually like the flat metal backs on the iPhone 5 or the 5S, so it sounds like it's shaping up to be my own personal perfect device, because I've actually missed the iPhone 3G and the 3GS from when they've been discontinued years ago. I like that kind of curved edges and the curved feel of the phone, so having a plastic back is going to make it feel warmer in hand, it's going to make it feel nicer personally for me, but also the bright colours kind of look cool. Although I'm more than likely going to go for a white one. Another topic about the iPhone 5C is the colouring. None of the leaks that we've seen so far have had a white front on them. They've only had black ones, so maybe it's like the old iPhones where they had a black front and then a different coloured plastic shell on the back. Now part of the reason for this probably is that they couldn't get the white on the front to match the white on the back, so they thought, we're not going to waste our time trying to perfect this because it's impossible, so let's just put a black front and a different coloured back on it and it solves the problem. Performance wise and spec wise, we're not expecting it to be much different from the iPhone 5. They might use cheaper parts on the inside, they might not. It might be exactly the same, and maybe they're just saving money by using plastic instead of metal on the back. Now in terms of other devices like the iWatch or the iPad, I would be very surprised if we saw anything. I think this is just going to be 2 new iPhones and that's it. iPads will probably be unveiled in a different event towards the end of October or maybe released in November. The iWatch I don't think is going to come this year, but then Apple could surprise us and announce it tomorrow. I would be very happy for them to do so. But if there is an iWatch coming, I don't think it's going to look like anything else we've seen on the market so far. At least I hope it isn't. I want them to come up with something completely different, and if that means waiting for another year or two, then I'm perfectly happy with that. I would love to hear from you about what you want to see at the event tomorrow. We're going to be live blogging it. I'll leave a link in the description box to the live blog so you can bookmark it and get ready for tomorrow. So you can check up on it while you're at work or home or school or something. Please let me know what you want to see from the event. Do you think 2 iPhones is enough? Do you think they should release a bigger iPhone? Leave your comments or tweet me. I'm at TIP_Cam, and I look forward to making more videos for you over the next week, as I'm sure I will be. I'm going to be really busy. So I will see you all again probably tomorrow.